In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Gamersledge podcast. Come on in, have a delicious cherry Coke with Reese's peanut butter cups, and sit down and relax. Welcome to Gamersledge podcast. It's a conversation between friends. It's a look at what it means to be a hardcore gamer, discussing the video game industry and pop culture in general. I am your host, Balth, and with me this week we have Hail, hail, the entire crazy loony house is here. Starting at my far left, it's Dude Monkey.
Hello.
And we have Burgundy.
Hello.
It didn't cut you. It didn't cut you, Burgundy.
No?
There you go. Yeah.
How about now?
Yes, very good.
Is this thing on?
It is.
Okay.
And then
I have important things to say.
Oh, okay, well that's very good. And then we have Green Arrow. Or Valk. Take your pick.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you have to say something. If you just wave, it doesn't cut to you. There you go. Neo Sapien.
I like my hoodies.
There you go.
I don't know how this machine works. Hey.
Angel's Cradle.
Hello.
And last but never least, Yakamoto Joe.
Hello.
It has been a couple crazy weeks, but we have so much news and we have so much to talk about. But first, before we even get to the point where we go around the room, I do want to make sure, because when I asked the question earlier, Toad Monkey and Angel's Cradle were not online. Everyone has seen the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, correct?
No.
Is that a movie?
Sir.
Okay, you guys have no excuse because I've seen it.
Trolling.
I know.
Keep
I
that
tagged.
internet trolling.
I tried to tag as many as you could as soon as I found it.
There are certain things we don't joke about, guys.
The first rule of Podcast Club is...
Angel's Cradle, you have actually seen it, right?
No, I haven't. I have had no time in the past, 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. How are we going to talk about this if he hasn't seen it? Okay, here we
He's
go.
going to go watch it now.
He's going to go watch it now, and we'll...
Just ramble about something
Watch it.
random and he'll...
Is it on YouTube is my only question.
It is. It is on YouTube.
It was on YouTube the second it got done airing Jimmy Kimmel, because I put the link up, I typed it in right away, and it was there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched the beginning of Jimmy Kimmel to watch this thing, and I hate Jimmy Kimmel. So,
how weird that Jimmy Kimmel broke this? I mean, that's kind of weird, right? I mean,
It
what's it
seems
called
like
again?
a Jimmy Fallon kind of thing.
Yeah,
He
I'm
would do
surprised.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
surprised, especially with Fallon being, on this first week on the
What
Tonight
channel's
Show.
Jimmy Kimmel on, guys?
Oh, ABC. Crap,
There
that's
you
right.
go.
I figured that out last night too.
Yeah,
I totally
ABC
forgot.
Disney. Hello.
Derp.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians. Yes. Wait, I think you're summarily kicked from the Nerd Club. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
Stop with the school and the girls.
hey, you know what? I kind of can't.
I thought he was actually considering it for a minute, and I was going to say priorities, sir. Priorities. Well, so I was going to introduce the newest editor to Gamersledge today, but it will have to wait till next week. I got a puppy. I got a Basset Hound puppy.
Yeah.
Named Sherlock. Yeah, he's very cute. But he had a little accident tonight, and he's got some tape on him, and so the missus said you can't show him with tape. You got to wait till next week.
But it'll be bigger.
Nah, he won't be much bigger. He's only 8 weeks old now, so he won't be much bigger next week. So.
They grow every second when they're that little, though.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
That wasn't very hard.
No, not at all. This is easy. We should ask for raises after this.
Let's see, a 10% raise in nuttin' is nuttin', carry the nuttin'.
Hey, but it's still 10%. That's more than most people get in this economy. So
This is true.
don't let your math get in the way.
It's just Jane math, so...
Yeah, well.
I am worried for his health, though, because the missus keeps talking about
You getting yelled at?
I think so.
No, he's worried about the dog's mental health because he keeps on watching Melrose Place with
Oh yeah, he's the cutest little thing ever.
It's all ears.
It is all ears. His name is Sherlock.
That is great.
What is going on?
He looks more like a Watson.
No, he's totally a Sherlock. He will sniff out the truth every time, and he will hound you till he finds it.
Bang, bang.
All right, I'm taking it back up there.
And I get accused of child abuse.
I
Man,
didn't even see any tape. I don't understand what was going on there.
there was a small piece on leg. He had to wrap its leg.
I'm guessing stairs were involved.
Mm. It was a walking incident, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it was. All right, I can see he's watching it because his microphone's on mute. Yeah.
I can't tell if he's smiling a lot because he should be if he's watching this.
Oh yeah, I can see teeth.
I can see it. The mute thing was covering it, so I couldn't really see it right there.
So while he's watching that, Joe, why don't you talk about your caption there that you have?
Oh, my dadgum Rampa?
Yes. So this is a game for the Vita that came out this week, $34.95 on the store. It's a cross between Phoenix Wright and like 2 other series, but it's gotten pretty much universal acclaim across the board. Did you finish it?
So I'm seeing that when it comes out.
So, first things first. Don't know if you noticed, but Karen Gillan as Nebula. Hello.
Yep.
Yes, please. Burgundy, you asked before we went live whether anyone else froze it on every one of the statistic breakdowns.
Yeah.
Of course you have to.
Yep.
Yeah, I totally did. That's
Yeah, there are some awesome stuff in
There's
there.
hilarious stuff on there.
Lesser life form prone to biting.
Well, not only that, but it said that he started 12 arsonists,
Yeah.
12 arsons
Yeah.
himself. But yeah, I can't wait for this because it's such a different tone than everything else. It's not serious, it's not playful. I swear that they are doing it wrong. Because if you look at the Marvel Universe, it's all grim and serious and in the comics. But in the movies, they're lighthearted and funny. I don't get it. What are they doing there?
No, not everything. I mean, I think they're hitting a good mix in there. I mean, it's that whole, like in the Avengers and everything, it had that perfect Whedon influence where, he had the right amount of comedy but the right amount of serious. I mean, they're just hitting all cylinders.
Is there anybody who didn't like the trailer? Silence. All right, good.
That takes care of that.
Yeah, that takes care of that.
This makes
topic.
exciting radio.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, so then let's go. We'll come back to that as we progress throughout the show. But let's go down the row, see what everybody's been up to and playing. Let's start with you, Dude Monkey.
Okay, real quick, because there's a lot of people here. This really, really small beta came out. I don't think you've heard of it. Titanfall?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Teton.
It is awesome. It throws you in there. There's a small tutorial at the beginning of the beta, and then it just throws you right into the gameplay. And just same thing as far as gameplays, just 4 little, or actually 3, territories. We have, a free-for-all kind of thing, but only with Titans, so that's really cool.
So I didn't know you do PC gaming.
Oh.
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 Ow.
Oh, but that's the only way you're playing it, right?
Ow.
No.
Oh, so it must have been the 360 then, right?
Oh, the Xbox One.
No,
Oh.
nobody buys those.
Nobody owns that.
I did. It's
Nobody
right
owns
there.
that with pride. There's a difference.
Yeah, I do. It's right there.
Sorry, please continue. I'm sorry, I couldn't.
It's all good.
What are you talking about?
It
The only
was fun.
place you can get Peggle 2 right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's true. That's true. Good point.
That still has me itching every week.
Go buy it, man. It's awesome.
And then I realized I don't play anything anymore, so.
Oh, well, Titan, it had a bunch of aspects. As far as easy kills and stuff from Call of Duty, where people like instant gratification as far as pulling a button, it's there, and also the whole Halo aspect is with the Titan, where you're heavier, but still vulnerable, and it's like a rock paper scissors kind of thing. Like if you're a pilot, just the guy running around, you can take down a Titan like that. But if you're a Titan fighting another Titan, it takes a while and a lot of aiming, and it just switches back and forth like that. And then tons of attributes and things you can add on your Titan to defend from pilots trying to jump on you. It's awesome. I've been playing that a lot. And Marvel Puzzle Quest, yeah.
All right, Burgundy, how about you?
I've been playing this game on YouTube where I hit repeat over and over again, watching that Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. It's ridiculous how much I'm enjoying that. As far as games, Tiny Death Star still.
What do you think of the changes?
Apparently awesome because I'm maxed out again on everything. Like I got all the levels. I'm waiting to try and fill up the last few people, the last few things. Yeah, it's been working. I have a ton of cash. It's just as soon as stuff comes in, I buy it all and keep playing.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I had to start over again, and it doesn't seem like you're getting Imperial bucks as easy as you used to. It seems like they're a lot more slow in coming, but not that you need them anymore. But have you noticed that too?
It depends. If you're actually like letting it run, like if you're just like jumping in, playing real quick, and then jumping out, you're going to see them less. But if you kind of like leave it on for a bit, like they'll pop up. You know, I haven't had too many issues with that.
Is that really all you've been playing?
Sadly, yeah. I've been pretty busy. I was slated to go out to California for a week, but that got canceled. And then it's like I got a Aruba trip I'm planning, so like that's been taking up a bunch of time too. There's a lot of sickness in the family and stuff, so I've been doing a lot of hospital visits and everything. So it's been great.
You're gonna podcast from Aruba, right?
No, I'm not gonna have internet in Aruba. I unplug.
But you're gonna podcast from Aruba, right?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Valk, what have you been up to?
You can just skip me.
Okay. Neo Sapien, how about you?
Oh, no. Wait. My beans no longer take 24 hours to grow. I found a cheat. All you gotta do is change the clock on the internal clock on the machine, up a day, and boom, beans are done.
I thought you were going to say you use your flip phone to hack 1992.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Hey, this thing right here is indestructible. So
Just
at
keep
least
those
It's
yourself
also
that.
unusable, but you know, hey.
He's a Time Lord. Wow.
I can make phone calls a lot more reliably with that than I ever could with my smartphone.
Neo Sapien. I was going to skip it, Burgundy. Thank you. Neo Sapien, how about you?
Well, I have been working on Tiny Death Star just a little bit. I'm nowhere near where Burgundy is, so nothing really to report there. Though they did mix it up quite a bit. They dropped a new version, and it's practically a lot of nice changes. They've done a couple of events now, so it's been fun. 5 years ago is calling, and I just started playing Words with Friends. So. I think I said that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Like
so,
a crack addict.
I'm not playing it that bad. My wife's a lot worse.
I
let's see.
witnessed it.
I know.
I was there for 2 hours, and 1 hour and 45 minutes of that time you were playing Words with Friends.
Well-
I send my word to your wife, and she immediately sends it right back. Like, I don't understand. She's monitoring it at all times. I don't.
Pretty much. But hey, Valk, you're Vadering again. But yeah, it takes me a while to be able to find the time to sit down and plan out my word attack, so I don't respond nearly as quickly as she does. And then in real games, 2007 called and wants its Uncharted back. I have finally, last night, just finished the first Uncharted for the PS3. So I am official. Well, I've now played 2 Uncharted games. I played the Vita one, and now I finished Uncharted 1. Trying to figure out if I want to start up an easy game to try to grab a couple more of the trophies before I move on to 2.
I hate you so much.
What?
Grab me even a trophy so I can catch up.
Catch up to who?
I don't know where you
To me.
You launched yourself into the stratosphere. You played Skylanders for like 3 days straight and got like 4,000 trophies.
Oh, that's not fair.
This is true, but
yeah, I'm nowhere. I'm not even within like 15% of you anymore. So it's a lost cause. Let's see. That's really it. I played a little more of Guacamelee, and I've sat down to start the Wolf Among Us like 6 times, and I still haven't. So still got to get on that one. And there are so many games for Plus now that I am behind on. It's sickening. It's just like there's games at the wazoo I should be playing. I did play the Outlast for a bit.
Oh.
did you like it?
I don't know. I think I just got to the point of the game where it's actually supposed to be getting good now, I think.
The basement?
Oh no, I just got to the part where the 3 like insane dudes are staring at the static TV.
Oh.
The first like really creepy part where the music and the sound effects just like literally kind of drive you nuts for you just got to get out of that room.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Slender in that respect. It uses a lot of good use of sound and just ambient noise and the lighting level in the place obviously. It's out there to make you feel uncomfortable, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of the game is to make you feel uncomfortable, and it succeeds exceedingly well at points at that.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot of jump moments, which I find kind of cheap. I think it's a real cheap tactic, but it works. I jump every day.
Wait. Are you talking about a game or did you start online dating? I don't.
I don't. He will be here all week. No, I don't think my wife would appreciate me online dating, but
Yeah, but the joke had to be made. Sorry.
it had to be made. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to it just because there's a lot of stuff out there that I'd rather play, and I do want to get through all 3 Uncharteds before my life ends when Infamous Second Son drops in like 3 weeks. So.
All right, so then Angel's Cradle. It's been like 2 years since we've seen you.
Yeah, I got a list. So I don't know if I told you, I have money for a PlayStation 4, but nobody has one. So I'm just gonna.
Are you
wait.
serious?
5.3 million people have one.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There's
Everybody
a
has
bunch
one.
at Best Buy here.
The store here, like the GameStop here, has them.
No, what I'm really doing is I'm waiting until I did a list. There are 70 games I own that I have not even cracked. So I need to get through some of them before I even like do anything. I've got so many games I've actually considered starting a Let's Play just to go through them as quickly as possible. But what I've played since I last talked was quite a big list. For the phone, I kind of played Subway Surfer. It's okay. I still play Defender of Texel. For PC, PC gaming.
Nice.
I got into the Hearthstone beta.
Oh, how do you like it?
It's really good, like really good, but you're very, very limited on cards currently. It's a beta, but it's really good. Really, I found a really big glitch in it, where when the game first starts, if you just pound on the next symbol or the next button, it'll go into the next. It'll go into the next turn, but you won't gain any crystals, and it's gonna messes the whole system up. So then, when your opponent hits next, I didn't draw a card. I didn't gain an additional mana crystal. It's like it messed the whole system up.
Can I give you a piece of advice?
What?
Calm down.
No.
Could you imagine if there was a glitch like that in Marvel Puzzle Quest? Because that's what I'm doing all the time.
I'm told constantly like.
So, I've been doing that for a while. Currently, I've played a little Dungeon Siege 3. I've given up on Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories because I'm not getting Riku in 99. I don't care. I just don't. I'm also now playing through the game 4 more times, so we're done. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I'm currently playing through it on very hard to get ready for Revengeance mode.
Nice.
Yay. Borderlands 2, I downloaded the DLC for the Christmas one.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very short, but pretty funny. I like the giant snowman. And I downloaded an old classic, Wild Arms 1, for the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Wow.
That is so good. I forgot.
It's such a good game.
The following ones are not nearly as good, but that first one is amazing.
Like when and I was playing it while my fiance's friend came over, and the exact words out of her mouth is, "Well, it's like Japan tried to make a Western RPG." So that's exactly what happened. But it's just so good, and there's no trophies.
And that intro, that is still one of the best intros
ever. But yeah, I played through it, and I don't care about trophies right now. I'm just, whenever I get an hour or two to play games, I just Wild Arms. And I'm so overpowered, even though I didn't do the glitch, it's not even funny. So.
Yakamoto Joe, what about you?
Well, I guess I'm finishing up Lego City or Movie City.
The movie video game?
Yeah, Lego the movie, the video game based off the toy.
Movie.
Yeah. It's good. It's a lot shorter than all. It's a lot shorter than like Lego Marvel and all the other stuff. It's a more truncated game, I guess. And then what else? I finally got Steam.
Welcome 2005.
Yeah, exactly. I finally caved on Steam, and so I loaded up.
Speaking of 2005, since you got Steam, gratuitous space battles. Thank you.
Oh, okay. I got the Stanley Parable.
Nice.
Gone Home.
I still haven't played Gone Home. I really want to play it too.
And then I got in on the Sid Meier Humble Bundle, and so I got like a million things
Civilization games.
Yeah, I've got every Civilization game now and all the expansions. And then I did the Kickstarter for Broken Sword. I love Broken Sword. And I was really hankering for a good point and click, and so they released the first chapter of that on Steam not too long ago. So I got that. And that's it, I think, yeah.
Wow, no one has said anything that I expected them to say, which one of the big things I played this weekend was The Last of Us Left Behind. And it was, if you have The Last of Us and have not played that, but have finished the story, it is phenomenal. I highly recommend about 3 hours to beat, but actually fills in a very large gap that was in the main story and fleshed it out pretty well. So I was very happy with it. Other than that, finally figured out after like an hour and a half of playing with the store last night how to download the second assault maps for Battlefield 4. Man, those people who are in charge of quality control for that need to be fired. Seriously.
Uh-oh.
The store in general, or
No.
Well, yeah,
EA. Yeah, but it's EA's fault. I mean, they're the ones that put these weird exclusivity timelines on it. Anyways, you can only find the download if you search the store for it. If you actually go to Battlefield and try and download it, it just takes you to the premium pack, which you already have installed. So the only way you can actually find the files to download them is to search for them. It's crazy. Anyways, there's that. I played Grid 2. I played the hell out of Skylanders. I probably shouldn't show you this, but that is now the collection of Skylanders, if you can see them over there.
Sweet Lord.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. I have.
The kid has to love it.
What happened to the you were only going to buy the minimum number you needed to get through the game?
Yeah, well, that's before I found out there's a Portal Master ranking, which part of that ranking is based on how many you have from each set. Yeah, it's pretty bad. And so I did that, and then also I just started. Let's see, I did Wolf Among Us Episode 2, which is phenomenal. Although way too short. They need to make those much longer. And then last but not least, the two last things I did, Remember Me. I started that. I love PlayStation Plus because it's the games that I want to play but don't want to spend any money on. And Remember Me is exactly that game.
Yep, exactly.
And I have to say I like it so far. I mean, I can see why it only got a 6.5 to a 7 from most sites. You know, technically it's got some glitches and stuff, but I mean, it's fun. It's just not $60 fun. And then the last but not least, I played a demo. Oh, actually, I played two other things. I played the Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 demo, which is amazing, and it makes God of War, the last God of War, look pathetic already. So I'm digging that.
It's up on the PlayStation Network? Oh,
but
okay.
only for PS3.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's up, and it's fantastic.
Cool.
And then last but not least, I downloaded a demo for a little game called Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns, which prompted me to write a 2,000-word op-ed piece for the site, yes. Which, if anyone would like to read, they definitely can do so. I would love your feedback on it. But basically, it's me say the name of it is Square Enix has lost the plot to the Final Fantasy franchise. So, and I actually used statistics because men can do some maths or something. So yes. But other than that, that's all I've been playing. Anybody here besides Matt play Last of Us?
I did.
I don't even own it.
I did.
Are you planning on picking up the DLC?
When I get some money, I probably will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah. I eventually plan to. I was kind of hoping to maybe score one for nothing, but yeah, I don't know. I want to play it. I was just $15 for 3 hours. I was kind of like, it's kind of like the whole Metal Gear thing. It's like just $40 for 2 hours.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, with the Telltale games, I can justify $20 for 4 to 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they're quality hours, it's good. But man, I can't say enough good things about it. It is one of the most beautiful games on the system. But at the same time, the story that they have there, I wish I could talk to you about this without spoiling anything. Let's just say, you remember that whole big, in the middle of the story, you were like, how did she possibly do that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you're playing.
Oh, okay.
So it actually ends up fleshing out one of the big questions of the story. So I was very, very, very pleased with it.
Yeah, everything that I've heard, it sounds like they managed to just nail it with the story. They came up with a phenomenal story to tie everything together, and I think the only criticism I've heard is that they didn't really do anything with the combat. The combat's just kind of.
Actually, I think the combat is much better, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Because you're playing as Ellie. Hey, Val. Where'd he go? There we go. The combat, because you're playing as Ellie, one of the odd things is I got so used to playing as Joel, you could hit people and overpower people, and you can't do it with Ellie. So one of the things that they actually do is they allow you to set up moments where you can lure the infected into survivors.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
and make them fight each other. It's pretty awesome actually. So that's but all in all, I'd say really, really good. I almost completed the entire thing on the first playthrough. Almost.
Oh.
So with that, since we've gone around the room, I don't think I left anybody out. Nope, I did not. Let us get directly into the news. Lots to talk about. Neil, I know you've got one. Why don't you start?
I do. Which one? I didn't write them down. Give me a keyword.
Sales.
Oh yeah, I already actually hit it. Well in advance of its estimated March timeline, the Sony has announced that the PlayStation 4 worldwide has sold 5.3 million units. 5.3 million units since launch by, what was it, February 12th or something like that. I don't have the article right in front of me, but
February 8th.
8th? Okay. So a month in advance of their target of having 5 million units out in the field by March, they've already exceeded that. The closest estimate is that Microsoft is at least 30% behind that. And it hits Japan, Saturday? So you can expect that number to just shoot through the friggin' roof.
What's interesting is
weekend.
that I saw a couple other comparisons with the stats of their sell-through so far. They're actually outpacing even the PlayStation 2, which, as we know, is the largest selling console of all time. They're outpacing that currently. So my real question is Toad Monkey.
Yeah.
Just stop there. Don't say anything else.
I'm not. I wasn't going to.
I probably won't get one until, there's a game that I really, really want that comes out for it. Infamous Second Son would probably be one of them, but again,
So
money.
you'll have one in a couple weeks, is what you're saying.
Well, again, money's an issue on that part, and then.
Well, you can always trade in your old systems for 30% extra towards a new system at certain retailers.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll gladly take that Xbox One.
Yeah, they take those current gen consoles too and trade it.
No, I like it. It's my baby. I have two 360s just for display, and I have a PS3 that doesn't do anything anymore.
I think you have to have the monocle applied if you say, well, I have two 360s for display only.
The Halo one.
Where's my glass? Yes, indubitably and fantastic.
Hold on.
The two red rings got to him. It's just.
Only got one of them. But no, they became displaced because it was two of the older ones because they were the Halo ones, and I was like, well, I guess I could sell it, and nah, they look really cool. And in case I do need money, I can, boom, they're right there. But
yeah, $5. Woo!
Although I will say I'm right there with you, Toot. I managed to finagle an Xbox Interactive from one of the from a local gaming place, and so I have this large Interactive that has an Xbox in it and everything. I'm like, I can't get rid of that.
Nice.
Well, so one of the things that was going around on NeoGAF and Reddit this week is OPM Magazine has stated that next month's cover is one of the most exciting in the magazine's history, with a series of massive significance finally being confirmed for the PS4.
Ratchet and Clank's coming, isn't it?
There's no. It's not saying what it is. We won't know for sure until
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
The biggest. No, it's not going to be that. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
They bought the rights to Mother.
Didn't OPM go out of business?
No. It's
Official PlayStation magazine?
Of the UK.
Oh, UK. I'm like,
yeah.
I thought they closed that thing down a while ago.
No. The UK one's still up and running.
Oh, so it just means probably like FIFA or something.
FIFA's already been confirmed. And this is a series of massive significance. So people are saying that means that it's not something that's already been confirmed. a lot of people are saying Crash Bandicoot.
Oh yeah,
I was
I
gonna
would
say
buy
that.
that so fast.
Yeah, but doesn't Activision still has the rights to that, right?
They do. The other thing is it probably is going to be. It could be Last Guardian because we know that definitely has not been canceled, but that's already been announced. So I'm thinking that's not it.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not gonna look like as much as people are gonna like try and freak out over it. I wouldn't consider that significant. That's niche.
Yeah, I agree. Also, so I don't know what it could be. I'm interested to find out.
Jack and Dexter.
So yeah, that's one of the pieces of news that we've got. Let's see what else. No, not that one. Oh, here we go. Here's a piece of Xbox news, actually. So starting this week, Microsoft has announced that there is a new service available to all Xbox One owners called the OneDrive. And I'm waiting for the rest of the story to pull up on my screen, but basically what it does is you get, it's basically cloud storage, and that means that, for example, if Turo records the 30 seconds that he has available to him to record for gameplay footage, etc. I'm just kidding. Sorry. But
Yeah, it has more than that.
You do. Supposedly you do, but I don't know how much it is. Honestly. Have you tested that out yet?
It's 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, how much does the PlayStation record?
I believe it's 15 minutes
15 to 20.
about.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was just checking.
So, yeah.
So, Turo, the point is if you capture some gameplay footage of Titanfall, as an example, and you edit it, then you can post this directly up to the OneDrive and then view it on any device. So you can view it on your iPhone, you can view it on your tablet, you can view it on whatever you want to look at it at.
Yeah, but I don't want people watching me suck at that game because, man, that is...
Man, do you suck.
Yeah, it's just freezing. There's a huge learning curve because when you do one thing, some other guy figured out how to go around it. It is a giant rock, paper, scissors game. It is awesome.
Now, does it make it any more attractive to know that there are achievements that you can earn by performing certain actions with the OneDrive?
Wow.
Oh, gee. See, that just makes it more not fun. I like when I said about the achievements on Netflix and Hulu. That's just really, come on.
See, because here are the achievements that they've announced so far. All right, there's week 1 winner. You open your OneDrive on Xbox One in the first week. Week 1 wizard. You play 20 photos in a slideshow from your camera roll in the first week. Hope those aren't all selfies. You view 10 photos from your camera roll. Long exposure, you view 100,000 photos.
Jesus.
Really?
Oh, jeez.
On a roll, you watch 5 hours of slideshows.
Slideshows.
Why?
So, yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It's the greatest game ever.
You do get 7 gigs of free storage upon the creation of the account, but you can increase it to 15 gigs by enabling camera roll backup and inviting friends. So yeah, that's a free service. So if you do own an Xbox One, you might want to take advantage of it.
No, but it's free. I like it. I'm Mexican. I like stuff like that.
At least it doesn't say it costs anything.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll see.
Well, I thought it was going to be like a cloud service, like, let's say you don't have enough space to put another game because it's already full or something. Then you can throw it up in the OneDrive. Is that what they're calling it?
Yes, OneDrive.
Yeah. But
Wasn't it
just
called
for photos
something
and videos?
Yeah, it was called SkyDrive before.
Oh,
SkyDrive,
SkyDrive,
yeah.
that's right.
Oh, I have.
I
that.
still have SkyDrive on my laptop.
Not anymore. There'll be an update. It's called OneDrive now.
Yeah, it's called Nix Hit and Cancel.
Yeah, there you go. So another topic I wanted to talk about is Ken Levine is a jerk.
Oh.
The founder of Irrational Games. I'm sorry, I think he's a jerk. And the reason I say that is because Irrational Games this week announced that they were restructuring and laying off all but 15 employees now that all the BioShock Infinite DLC is coming to a close. And they're going to focus on download-only games, and they are actually moving to 2K games. Levine wrote a letter to all the fans on the corporate website saying that his vision of moving forward were downloadable games with a very strong story narrative, and that's the direction he wants to take the company. Which means he pretty much just said, F you all you people that work for me, you're all fired.
Yeah, but don't you think? I mean, those guys are all really talented people. I'm sure they're not going to be displaced for long. I mean,
Now, I will say that in their favor, they did do a career day. I don't know how you say that. A career fair where they brought in a bunch of other seriously, they brought in a bunch of other developers to help try and place those people. But still,
I think it's called a happy firing festival.
Yeah, sure, it was real happy for those guys. But
I kind of have to defend him a little bit on this one. Basically, I mean, if they see a direction that's coming, and they're just like, we can't be sustainable making these giant games that take 5 years to complete and generate money in the meantime. I mean, that's a lot of burn to go through with all that stuff. And if he sees a way to be profitable, making smaller things, and still make it story focused and giving that kind of shine that he's known for, but just doing on in a different environment. I mean, don't you think he has the right to try that out?
But it's Levine. It's Levine. He's going to take 5 years to make a 3-hour game that's going to cost $30 and be a downloadable. So,
see,
wait a minute, hold on a second. What's one of the most popular games on the iPhone?
Flappy Bird.
No. What was that one? It was it's a tech demo that everybody thinks is a game.
Oh, Infinity Blade?
Yeah, that. Okay, so
all 3 of them.
So they make sequels to a tech demo now. It's awesome. So what if that could be really popular and sell? Why can't Ken Levine try that and actually make a quality real game for that kind of space? Since there's clearly a desperate market for something like that.
I just doubt his ability to put a game out in anything less than 5 years, regardless of how long it is.
yeah, but at least in the mobile space or the downloadable space, nobody cares. It'll come out when it comes out. I mean, nobody's sitting around.
That's what I'm not sure of. He's still working for 2K. He's shutting down his own studio, which was a subsidiary of 2K, but he's still working for 2K, which means they're still fitting the development bill, which means they're still going to want to see a return, so they're still going to be pressuring him to meet deadlines and make games and get them out and cut costs and all this stuff. So it's not like he's off independently developing things onto this huge pile of money he's got sitting somewhere. He's still a part of 2K.
But if they roll him into 2K, then if he starts well, it's going to take me 2 years to render this door. He's got all of they've got all of 2K that they can be like, okay, well, we need you guys, and they can just push them into Levine's office to help him render that door.
See, but this is my problem with it. If you look, obviously he's been in talks with 2K about this for some time.
Sure.
And if that's the case, he could have planned better for his employees. He could have just said, hey, look, we're going to disband this team from Irrational Games, yes, but can we fit these people into these areas at 2K onto these teams to try and keep them employed? Instead, it just looks like he just fired everybody and then said, we'll find you something after the fact.
The article did say a fair chunk of them were transferring to 2K proper. I don't have the article up right now, but I remember them being somewhere between 40 and 60% of them were going to get positions within 2K. I could have swore I remember reading that. I could be wrong. But
maybe they'll get transferred to the football game division.
Why you gotta hate?
Wait, but my thing is though, if he clearly wasn't going to go in that direction, did you want him to be forced to do that?
No, I don't want him to be forced to do that. But what I do want is I want him to be able to take care of his employees better than the way that he did.
Dude, I mean, in that industry, people get hired and fired in weeks. I mean, that just happens.
I was kind of wondering how many of those people are actually going to be getting private contracted the work, because obviously they can't develop much of anything with, what did you say, 15 guys? Or 15 people, I should say.
Well, you say that, but then again, look at Left 4 Dead. That was done with a very small team, about that same size.
Look at Fez.
Yeah, Fez is one guy.
Yeah.
Fez is one guy. I mean, if you look at Fez, Super Meat Boy, 15 guys, it's easily distributable at least.
No Man's Sky is 4 guys until the flood hits them.
What was that one? That's God, what was the name? Like sorcery something.
Oh, Sword and Sorcery or whatever. Yeah.
Like huge. I mean, that was only like 2 guys, wasn't it? Like one guy was doing all the music and sound, and like the other guy was doing the game. And that's like, you know, that was huge. So
I want to say that
a smaller team.
What was Genova Chen's shop that did Flower and
Journey and Flow and
Flow?
Oh, that game company?
That game company. I think that game company was only 4 people when they did Flow originally. And it grew after the success of Flow, but still. Yeah, I think see, and I get trimming down to a smaller, leaner team so that you can be more flexible and be able to do your vision, etc. I just think that there's something to be said about being a responsible business owner and employer in taking care of the people that work for you rather than just casting them all out to the wind saying, good luck, I hope you find something.
Yeah, but you could also sit there and say, like, you know, on the flip side of that, it's also good to kind of let people go as they're on a high, as opposed to running the company into the ground by mismanagement and trying to keep, like, you know, extra people, and thus tainting their tainting their market value as they go out. So like at this point, they'd be like, oh, these people are sought after because they just came off this game, as opposed to like, oh, we ran out of money, we tried to make this game and it petered out, and now nobody wants them because they think they're all a bunch of mismanaged idiots.
So what I heard of that was that you wanted him to give them drugs so they could all be high. Got it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I agree with that to a point, but I in all honesty, the market right now doesn't look like it's exactly hungry for new talent. So I'm afraid
Don't say that.
Well, look how many industries are closing. Look how many studios are closing.
Stop laughing at me. You know what I'm talking about.
I think I'm the only one that caught that.
No, I
Thank
totally
you.
got it. I got it. You'll do fine.
I'm 6. No, not even. How far am I? I'm 10 months away from being done.
So where are you moving?
I'm not currently. I need to get some. I only have 2 months of like coding experience behind me in the real world, so I'm staying here for a while.
Okay. All right. Because I'll be interested to see where that goes in the future.
do what everybody does that goes in the video game industry. They go in there, they get like some kind of like low-level job at EA for a couple months, and they're doing like, you know, stuff for graphic cards, and then they all do the same thing. They go to Wall Street and get into high-frequency trading algorithms. You'll make a ton of money there. That's the move. Thank you me later.
Yeah, I think no. I was hoping to get a little bit of coding experience behind me, and then just tossing my resume out to everybody and everything.
Well, don't forget there is Nintendo in Chicago.
Possibly.
Just saying.
Possibly. If I get to work on the next Banjo-Kazooie, sure.
Rare doesn't even get to work on the next Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, they're going to need to focus more on Banjo-Kazooie's fur.
Yeah. Or you know, Connect
Says Iwata.
Connect Sports or something. I don't know.
No. Not enough in the world.
So, I mentioned earlier I wrote a little article about how Square Enix has lost the plot for the Final Fantasy franchise. One of the news articles that came out this week is that Square Enix believes that Lightning, the main character of the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, has a lot of fans, and that she's extremely popular even compared to other Final Fantasy characters.
Wow.
And so that they're going to have her appear in other future Final Fantasy titles as guest character because fans really want more Lightning.
No.
And this is one of the things that I enjoyed doing in my article is I did a title over title breakdown of sales. And if you look at Final Fantasy 13 because people were expecting a lot out of it, they sold through 6 million of them. But then if you look at Final Fantasy 13-2, they only sold 4 million of them. And with this one, they're on track to sell 2 million of them with Lightning Return. So I don't understand why Square Enix is allergic to money. Why don't they make what everybody wants, which is a Final Fantasy VII remake, and print themselves some money?
Okay, you know what? That is a double-edged sword. I mean, everybody wants Final Fantasy VII remake, but everybody wants a different Final Fantasy VII remake. They are going to. There is no way that reality could ever live up to the expectation of even a third of the population that wants it, because so many different people want something that's so different. There's no way that even that could make the population happy. It's a completely losing proposition.
I disagree.
They'll sell a bajillion copies. They'll sell a bajillion copies, and then everyone will bitch about it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if they bitch about it as long as they sell 1 million copies.
Yeah, that's the point of the Final Fantasy VII remake is not. It's not. Oh, we want to make people happy. Oh, well, they don't care about that. Let's be real here. What they're more focusing on is it's pure money. And honestly, if they took the PlayStation 1 version of it and literally just beefed up graphics,
same thing they're doing with 10 and 10-2. If they just made an HD remake uplift,
that's all that matters. They don't need to do anything else. They don't need to add anything. Just make it pretty.
Voices.
The company's done.
There are some voices in there other than the, standard text.
What?
I think you said add voice acting.
Voices, and that's what I was saying. The graphics update and throw voices in there.
Yeah, no, I mean they could. No. I agree with that. In fact, if you remember on the PS3, they did a tech demo of the opening rendered of Final Fantasy VII in 3D. So it's not like, oh, it's going to take them years and years to do it. I'm sorry, no. They've got 65 engines that they could port it to and just do it from there. Seriously. It's ridiculous. I don't understand.
They're remaking Final Fantasy VI. They've done 1 through 6. They've already done 1 through 6. The only thing, and they've remade officially in HD 1 through 6.
Where's the Final Fantasy VI HD remake?
They've already announced it, that it's going to be out on PlayStation 4 for a download.
What?
Yes, PlayStation. Yes, I read something on, I think it was game trailers or someplace else where they said they're working on they're either working on or they're about to announce the Final Fantasy VI HD version, which that Final Fantasy VI wasn't 3D yet. So they're going to do 6, but if they release 6, then they have to do 7 because they've done 1 through 5.
It'll be Japan only.
I will pay anything if they go from 6 to 8.
I will get a freaking Japanese PSN account.
PS4. Well, yeah, PSN. That would be the trick. But the only thing I disagree with, and yes, it will sell a bajillion copies regardless of what they do. They could make it with South Park characters, and it would still sell a bajillion copies.
Well, then it would sell 2 bajillion copies.
It might be 2 bajillion copies. I don't know. The problem is Squeenix, whatever. That's how old I am. Has to do 2 things here. They have to put out a game that people are going to buy so they can make money. Okay, there's your Final Fantasy anything 8 or earlier remake. And then they've got to rebuild trust. They've got to get faith back in their products so people will continue to try to buy them. Right now, they're in a downward spiral.
Yep.
Sure, they could make one game that over half the community is going to hate. They're going to buy it anyway, and they'll get a huge influx of cash. That's not going to help them sell the next game, unless it's Final Fantasy VIII Remake, in which case it'll sell a bajillion copies. Everyone will hate it, and then we'll continue down this path of them remaking games, and then they'll get to the point where people will get. It's already basically that they've hoarded out the entire concept of Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is the same boat that Nintendo's in right now. Nintendo's in trouble.
Yeah.
And they keep on cranking. The only difference is Nintendo has a larger library of crap to crank out over and over and over and over again. It's like, oh man, our sales suck. Oh, quick, crank out a Mario something or another, and they're guaranteed to sell X million copies of this game. It's like, oh well, things are stalling out. Better put out a Zelda something or another, and ship that out the door. I mean, why do you think there's been 3 Mario games on the Wii U?
Yep.
When typically we only get like 1 per console, and so I mean, doing that with Final Fantasy, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, Final Fantasy sucks. It sucks for years. I mean, it's just, and if they blow their wad on Final Fantasy VII, they're screwed. I mean, the only thing that Square is putting out right now that's any good is their American stuff. The Japanese, in my opinion, the Japanese market has completely lost touch with gaming in general. They feel like they know exactly what everybody wants, but they have not a clue. They're not playing console games in Japan. They're playing mobile games, and so they're just like, oh yeah, she's got boobs. Let's slap her on every game. Oh yeah. It's like,
you know what? I agree, except that it's not entirely true. If you look at their DS games are great. Look at Bravely Default, that just came out, and it is innovative. It's a RPG, and it has an active battle system. But the interesting thing is you can choose to either attack or you can guard and build up some extra point meters and then do 2 attacks or 3 attacks or 4 attacks in a row, depending on how long you guard. So they're innovating with it, and they're making a fun experience. But for some reason, they can't figure out how to do it in the console space. It's only in the handheld and mobile, like you're saying. And it's really, really frustrating. And by the way, Angel's Cradle, you suck. That is for iOS and, it's for iOS and Android only.
What is?
The Final Fantasy VI, All the Bravest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing, I think I understand what you're saying. So they're, Yokomoto, I think what you're trying to get at is, why would they have a huge bomb waiting to go off. Why would they do it now and not save it for okay, this company's about to go bankrupt. What are we gonna do? So I mean, at the very least, they can hold off. More and more people are gonna want it. More and more people are just gonna save $40 so that if it ever does come out, boom, they're good. And then if all of a sudden Square is literally about to go under, they can just go, oh, Final Fantasy VII HD, boom, we're back to the top.
I totally agree with Nick. I think they're sitting on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, and plus
I can understand that.
With your Tomb Raider and Hitman, and now all their other, like I said, their American properties that they have, those are selling fantastically, and so those are essentially your Final Fantasy VIIs. It's like, well, crap, we're going to need another couple $1 million to, simulate jiggle physics on Rain, so better crank out a Hitman, and so whatever.
It's just like Nintendo did with Legend of Zelda. Which one was it? Oracle of Seasons and Ages. They haven't put out a decent game in a while, so they're like, well, we need to profit. Boom, Oracle of Seasons and Ages. Right. They put that on the Nintendo shop, and all of a sudden, oh look, our sales are up.
Now I will tell you what Square Enix game I'm actually very excited about.
Kingdom Hearts.
No. Because that won't come out for another 2-3 years. Easy.
Hey, it's still in my want category, okay?
Okay, yeah, I understand, but I'm talking about one that's coming out this year, and that's Murdered Soul Suspect.
Yeah.
That actually looks like a good story-driven, it's not an RPG, but it's an action RPG experience. And, I guess what I really want to see them do is return to their roots in some respects for the Final Fantasy series. I want to see actual RPG elements and less of the action-y stuff. I mean, Crisis Core was great. It was a great marriage, but I don't need that in every single freaking game that comes out of Square Enix. I feel like
the slot machines.
Yes, it is the one with the slot machines.
So gave that away.
It's actually really good. You should play it.
I didn't. I gave it away.
Yeah, I got that because you said you gave it away.
It was just like, oh, it's a gambling game. No thanks.
It's not a It's not a gambling game. What the hell?
That's all that was going on.
No.
You have to actually bet something for it to be a gambling game.
Yeah, no, the
There was
slot
no
machine.
difference between that and my old uncle who spams me on Facebook with slot games.
No,
It was the same thing.
I know you're trolling me, but I'm still outraged.
Actually, you can't be outraged because I know I missed the point of it, but really that's what I got out of it. I was like playing with it, I was just like, this is obnoxious. I can't do this.
No, you totally missed the point of it. I agree with that statement wholeheartedly.
Someday I need to finish that game. I got stuck at the Sephiroth battle at the reactor in Nibelheim.
So that's that. What else we got that I wanted to?
I got something I want to throw out there quick.
All right, go.
Did anybody see this Forbes article about maybe everybody knows, maybe they don't, but Microsoft recently elected or found or hired, I don't know how this all works, a new CEO.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new CEO, he's saying, he wants to go back to basics, focus on core competencies, all those things that people, when they come in and take over, always say.
Ooh, synergizing.
Fun games.
Synergizing back with their core basis business and reinvigorate their blah 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 whatever.
Yeah, lies. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, now apparently there is a large contingent of analysts. Again, I'm just reading what came from the article. I don't know anything about this, but that believe that Microsoft has basically just, they have the numbers to say that Xbox has been bleeding Microsoft since its inception, and it needs to ditch it. Their proposal in this article is that since Xbox sales are less than 70% of PS4, it's an utter failure, and they need to cut the whole Xbox business loose, and they should just sell it to Nintendo. Wow, that was well timed.
I'm sorry, but
Somebody was sitting there on that one. Wow, nice.
I like it.
That might have been me. I'm not sure.
Might have been. They go to. All right.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Now I started it. Yeah.
So anyway, basically they're saying that a lot of analysts are saying that Microsoft does need to focus back on its core businesses and its core products, and would relish that it would get rid of this leeching video game business that it's basically just been funding out of its own coffers, and it's done nothing but bled the company of some $1 billion a year. According to this, Xbox is across its history since its inception has cost Microsoft somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 billion per year over its life cycle. So they're at a net $2 billion per year loss from their Xbox business.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're still sitting on a huge cash reserve.
Oh yeah. But this is Forbes, so we're talking about money people, and if there's one thing money people don't like, it's giving away money. So,
that's the truth. You ever heard it?
So, Toad Monkey, how would you feel about Nintendo owning your Xbox One?
That'd be weird, but also feel good at the same time.
Legend of Zelda on Xbox One with Kinect features.
Ah, jeez. Hey, listen.
Shut up!
Hey, you could slap Navi with the Kinect.
Every time you say it,
I can hear it now. 2 a.m. Your Kinect wakes you up. Hey, listen.
Oh,
Got a message. Click.
Hey. Look.
Here's the thing that drives me nuts about articles like that, though. They're like, oh, Microsoft should just sell it to Nintendo. Why would Nintendo buy it? Like, why? That would cost them a lot of money to buy that.
Yeah, but Nintendo is sitting on just as much money as.
Yeah, but what? They don't need it. They have all those businesses. Why buy?
Oh, no, they don't. They don't have an online support structure. They don't have a distribution system that works for.
They don't care.
But then again, I mean, they're a Japanese company. They don't think we want any of those things.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I would see this more.
And it's not like you're just gonna buy that stuff and all of a sudden it's gonna work on Nintendo. I mean, it's you know, they're not buying anything of value to them.
If I was actually thinking about a serious buyer for if Microsoft was going to sell the Xbox, I'd look at Amazon.
Yeah.
I was going to say
absolutely.
Sega.
No, Sega
No.
doesn't want hardware anymore. They can't support hardware anymore.
Yeah, they don't have the money for it.
Yeah, but
They're pretty
I
happy
could
with
see,
pachinko machines.
you know, I could see Amazon trying to get into the infiltrate the
gaming?
set-top box.
I think more Apple would be trying to touch that, but well, they wouldn't, but they may buy it out just to get rid of it, and then they take over.
I would relish that email. Dear Tude Monkey, Apple has bought your Xbox One.
Yay!
We are shelving it and its entire service. Happy
Ah.
next day.
Please go buy a $10,000 Apple product. Thank
That's
you very
right.
much.
We have sold the
Will
new
do.
Apple screen. It is 2 inches wide, 12 inches thick. It plays in 480i, and we're selling for $7,000.
Ooh.
Insta buy.
And you can wear it on your wrist. Yes, please.
So yeah, I don't think that the selling to Nintendo thing would ever work. Now maybe they sell off their first party licenses, or maybe they'd be able to sell off something like that. But I don't think they'd be able to sell off the hardware division to Nintendo. Sony might actually be a more likely candidate to buy it up.
Nah, they definitely wouldn't do that.
They'd be more likely than Nintendo. That's all I'm saying.
But I mean,
think about Kraft. Kraft owns all of the competing processed cheese. You think you're buying Velveeta and it's not Kraft? No, Velveeta is Kraft. Kraft owns every single brand of processed cheese product in the entire world, and they're making it look like they're competing, but they're not. You know,
cheese analogy.
that would be this. Hey, I'm from Wisconsin. What do you expect? But you know, yeah, Sony could pull the same thing. You know, basically, oh look, you have the Xbox or the PlayStation, and it doesn't matter which one you buy because we both make money.
Yeah, but the problem is Sony doesn't have the profit margin
Yeah, they
in
don't
order
have
to
the
be able
offers.
to buy it.
That and
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be more like the WWE merging with the WCW when that happened.
Oh, that
Also-
did blow my mind. Yeah, that did blow my mind.
You know, that's a pretty good analogy for that, because it was exciting at first, and everybody thought it was a good idea, and then they realized it sucked.
I think the only way that you could pull that off would be as like if there was actual wrestling involved between Microsoft and Sony. That's the only way I think you could pull this off.
So here's my question, Joe. Do you own Trunks?
Get it on!
Yeah, see, they're just checking because, you know. All right, so I put a link into the chat, which if you are not using the chat feature, it's on the left side of your screen.
Oh, I see that.
And you should follow it because this week, LEGO announced the official Ghostbusters
What?
set.
Mhm.
Yes.
Look at that thing. That was
It
awesome.
is amazing. 30 years to get made, but hot damn if it doesn't look slicker than snot.
I wish the firehouse was part of it too, though.
You know what? For that quality Ecto
Yeah.
and Egon, look at Egon, man. Just look at him. Look at him.
He lost Angel's Cradle.
Oh, he
Uh-oh.
did?
Yep, he just disappeared.
Maybe he turned into a pumpkin.
His
Like, he was
fiance.
a ghost all along, and
Oh, he's still in the Skype call. Little box isn't flashing though.
Your box isn't flashing.
Sure.
All right.
when can we buy this? Because this is something I would like.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
that's what I'm trying to. It's just been.
Oh, it's June.
It
comes
does
out in
have
June.
it does have the firehouse.
No, that was
part
an
of the
early.
edition.
That was the thing that they submitted. Was
Right,
the
that was-
firehouse.
That sucks.
That was from the Lego Kuso
Mhm.
site. Have you ever seen that stuff?
No.
Go vote on that stuff because you determine what comes out. Your votes matter.
Yeah,
Thank
'cause
you,
they're already gearing up for the next one, aren't they?
Yeah, they're always in. There's always something in the pipeline.
You know, I have to say, if you want to look at a smart business model, it's Lego. Their trademark on their bricks expired like what, 15 years ago,
Yep.
and all they make their money on now is licensing.
Yep.
Wow.
It's absolutely smart.
Well,
they've launched their own.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. They also are the only ones that adhere to a higher standard of quality.
The only ones that damn bricks stick together.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with that, but
A Lego brick from the 50s still works with the a Lego brick today. Like they're the same tolerance, the same everything, and they refuse to budge on the quality, which totally shows.
They didn't change a darn thing.
If it was good enough for me in my day, it's good enough for you today.
And
you tell them Duplo guys to screw off.
But Duplo is Lego.
Yeah.
See? They're just like the cheese guys.
Tycho or Mega Block. Those
Mega Block.
Good.
Those are
Mega Blocks are crap. They don't stick.
Gosh.
Good. But and a little bit of an aside, if you guys haven't ever watched it, there's a really awesome, I think it's about 20-minute video on YouTube about the history of the Lego company. I'm pretty sure Burgundy's seen it, and I think he's the one who linked me to it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But it's done in anime, but it goes all the way back to when it was a wood toy company and it started and how they got from wooden toys to where they are today. It's a pretty cool story, and I only knew about a third of it, so. And I own more Legos than any one man should, but not nearly as many as Burgundy. He is my hero.
Let's not talk about that.
The first rule of Lego Club is you don't talk about Lego Club.
Too late.
One of the other things that I wanted to bring up while we're waiting for Angel's Cradle, if this week Harmonix announced their next game, and if you thought it was going to be Dance Central 4, you would be completely wrong. It's actually going to be a free-to-play, music-driven, first-person multiplayer shooter for PC and Steam. It's called Chroma, and the team behind Counter-Strike is actually developing it in conjunction with Harmonix. And the best way that I could explain it from watching the very short preview that I've seen for it is it's basically gonna have your various classes like snipers, like healers, medics, things of that nature. But the interesting thing is that there's music in the game, and you tap your mouse in with the rhythm of the music to get additional effects as you're firing. So it's almost like a dubstep first-person shooter. That's all I have to say. Drop the mic. Go home. Because I will be there as soon as you... I've already applied for the beta. I'm just waiting.
Free to play?
Free to play. And they will not be pay to win. It's only cosmetic changes for the microtransactions.
They really know what they're doing with that stuff. I love those guys.
I love them so much. I would have I would have never even thought of trying to move the music genre in that direction. But that is amazing. And they're saying they want to make sure that music fans who aren't hardcore shooter players have an access point to come in and be beatheads who are really good at the game in a different way than people who are used to being shooter players but not music genre fans. So they've been really trying to work out the balance between the two things. It's fairly interesting.
Yeah, I could see that being like the more passive classes will probably be more like for players like that. The whole concept is great.
Yeah, I agree, and it's they haven't put a release date on it yet, but I'm going to be tracking this very closely because I know the website for the beta actually said it's in an alpha stage, so I don't think they're super far on it, but it's interesting.
I'm signing up right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What else?
So on a non-video game or non-video electronic game thing at all whatsoever, has anyone been tracking the Mega Man board game saga?
No.
No. Does anybody want to know anything about it?
Wait, isn't that the Kickstart?
There was a Kickstarter that finished a while back. They made their goal. They extended the donations into PayPal up through last week to try to make their stretches. I haven't seen them announce whether they made the stretch goals with PayPal or not, but it's being made by Jasco, which is the same company that ended up with the rights to UFS, which Balth knows. I'm not sure if anyone else is familiar with that. It was a trading card game. Still is a trading card game. They're also coming out with a Mega Man set for UFS. Again, Universal Fighting System. It's a trading card game. But yeah, the official Mega Man board game earned over $415,000 with the Kickstarter, and now it's available for pre-order. It is, however, unless you donate it to the Kickstarter, $80 on pre-order. It's supposed to be a 2D. It's a 3D side-scrolling board game. I have no idea how that works. There's been no demos of it or anything. I haven't seen anything on it yet. But it's going to have, resin figures. Last I saw was it was going to have resin figures and a bunch of tie-in stuff to the game series. And this is original Mega Man, so it's not X or any of the other Mega Man stuff. It's Rockman, old school Blue Bomber. And right now, the only problem is, if you go to the official page and look at the fine print, they still actually don't have permission from Capcom to do this. So they're pushing forward, they're charging ahead, so they must be in talks that at least lead them to believe that Capcom is going to license this to them. But it could, maybe all of a sudden have a last-minute retooling to Mudman, the Red Bomber, and Dr. Crafty and Dr. Blight, or something, as characters.
Dr. Blight did bad things to Sue Dibney.
So
$65 or $80, by the way, is not bad. This bad boy cost me $65, so
yeah, so
that's a big ass.
Yeah. So I'm again, we haven't seen any actual concept of the game yet as to what it's going to look like or even how the gameplay works. So it's kind of hard to say what your $80 is getting you at this point, but it's gonna the concept is high end and it is advanced board gaming. It's not Monopoly or Life or something of that nature. But anyway, that's another thing that's creeping around out there. You can kind of keep your ear to the ground on if you're interested. So I'm fighting the urge to pre-order a box of the Mega Man UFS because I haven't played UFS since.
Yeah, well, there's no one
forever.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, just to finish up the show, kind of in our slot of final thoughts, is the release schedule coming up for the PlayStation 3 and 4, and how I can't seem to get rid of my PlayStation 3 to save my life.
As well you should not.
Well, no, see, and we've had this debate offline a lot. I'm one of those people that once a new console generation comes along, I usually chuck the old generation. I say, this is time for the clean slice, let's move forward from here, but let's just talk about the games that are coming up. And if you're interested in one of these games, say yay as I read them off. So coming out on February 25th, excuse me. Tales of Symphonia Chronicles.
Yay.
Yay. Thief.
Yay.
Yay.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
Oh, yay.
That's all on the same day.
Yes.
It's an expensive day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good movies coming out that day, too. The 25th
exactly.
is an expensive day.
Yeah. And oh, crap, that reminds me, Thor came out today, too, didn't it?
No, not next week.
No, next week.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Game of Thrones was this week.
Oh, right. Okay. Let's see. Then we also have The Wolf Among Us, the next episode.
Yay.
Then on March 4th will be South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yay.
Yay.
Dark Souls 2 on March 11th. Yay.
No.
Also on March 11th, The Altair, Esha, and Logi Alchemist of Dusk Sky, which is another
What?
RPG, another
Oh,
JRPG
so-
coming
oh.
out. Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remaster. Yay. That's coming out for PS3 on the 18th. Then Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes on the 18th. Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea Episode 2.
Yay.
Yay!
That's on the 25th. The Witch and the 100th Night, which I'm pretty excited about, on the 25th. That's another NIS game. And I think that brings us out to April. 5-Star Wrestling supposedly actually coming. We'll see about that. Anything else to note? Nope. So let's look at the PS4 side, and then we'll look at the Xbox 360 side, or Xbox One side as well. So on February 25th, we've got Thief.
Yay.
You're getting that for the PS3 or the PS4?
PS4, absolutely.
Okay. Then March 11th, we have Towerfall and Putty Squad for the PS4. On the March 21st, of course, is Infamous Second Son. Yay! Minecraft is supposed to come out in March.
Oh yeah! No. Sorry. No.
And I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's actually supposed to come out with a date. Oh, April 14th, Final Fantasy XIV Online, A Realm Reborn for PS4. And May 20th, Wolfenstein: The New Order. And then somewhere in Q2, we're supposed to get Watch Dogs, The Witness, Lego The Hobbit, Dynasty Warriors 8.
That should be awesome. Lego The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Planet Side 2, Ready to Run, The Golf Club, and...
Kind of excited about that.
Which one?
The golf club.
I know nothing about it. What is it?
It's basically since they... is EA doing that, or is that... Because I know they...
HB Studios.
Oh, HB Studios. Okay. Yeah, because I know with Tiger Woods being gone now, this is kind of the answer to that. It's kind of like free reign on golf games, which I'm kind of excited to see a good golf game again. Not that Tiger Woods was bad or anything, but...
So on Xbox One, we've got Thief. Titanfall comes out March 11th.
Woohoo!
Let's see. Strike Suit Zero Director's Cut.
Yeah, sure. No, I don't know what that is. What is
Minecraft. I don't know. It's a shooter. It says. Minecraft comes out in March.
Better graphics.
Actually, if the fallout from all the announced games are going to be, it's looking like there's an insider right now that is saying that the overhead for the PS4 is 100% more than the Xbox One currently. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's somebody saying.
The overhead for what?
The amount of extra memory you have to work with.
Oh.
Project Spark comes out in Q2. Elder Scrolls Online. Anybody excited for that?
I
might
saw
go
that
back and
video.
play it.
Did anybody see
They
that video?
haven't actually given a release date for the consoles. They have only announced the PC version.
I heard it was June.
That's what they tentatively have slated, is June, but no specific date, which means that it's a goal.
That rendered video, the trailer video of kind of what explains what's going to be the plot for that game. It was like an 8-minute long, beautifully rendered, awesome video of just wow.
Did anybody see the new trailer for The Order 1886?
Mm-hmm.
I did not. I've heard things.
It looks good. I've actually, if you read the IGN, IGN went to a closed session on it, and they said that there were some frame rate issues. But yeah, I figured they've got plenty of time to clean that kind of stuff up. But What's the most anticipated game you have coming up, Chewed Monkey, out of that list that we said? Is it Titanfall?
Well, for this early in the year, it has to be Titanfall because there's so much that I can't even like think of playing or haven't seen much of. So yeah, right now it is Titanfall. Sadly, I can't see anything else in the future that it's like, oh, I mean, it'll pop up and there'll probably be a game that just blows me away. But right now it's Titanfall. Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Conspiracy theory. Do you think the whole, because I guess they just announced they're pushing back the 360 version. 2 weeks, I think, to the 25th or something like that.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be the same day.
No, I guess they just pushed it back, and so I'm a conspiracy theorist. I feel like they're doing this so that they can sell some Xbox Ones, but
oh, it sounds right. Yeah.
They said it was to polish the game.
No, I totally agree on that. I really think they're like, oh no, you really want to play this game that was supposed to come out today? You can only get it on the more expensive. It's over there at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Go get it. No, I totally say yay. And then people who do have it, their friends are going to be like, oh, Titanfall's so cool, you should buy it. And they go, oh, why do I sound like this? I'm Seth Rogen. And then they and then they can go and buy an Xbox One because they said, Mom, it's really cool, or something. So yes, good conspiracy theory.
Burgundy, what about you? What's your most anticipated game coming out in the first couple quarters?
Right now, the main one that I'm looking forward to is Infamous. So I think that's going to be like my first real PS4 game, to be honest.
And Valk, what about you?
Infamous.
Infamous?
I can
Which he'll be coming over to my house to play.
Yeah. At least it's not out of the way. I might just come over when you're still at work, when I'm done with work. Actually, no, I'll get done about the same time as you. So, yeah, I'll just drop by after work and be like, hey, you know what, I'm stealing your PlayStation for the next 6 hours.
There's like 4 hours between the time I get home and the time I can play video games, so you've got that period.
Yeah, there's 4 hours a day right there. 3 days a week.
Nice.
What about you, Neo Sapien?
Do you even have to ask?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Infamous.
It's Minecraft.
Yeah, it's Infamous. I am a huge Infamous geek. I believe Infamous 1 was my first platinum. I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it was.
I should finish that game.
I'm really torn right now because you can pre-order the game on the PSN for the regular price, and you get the DLC content that you get if you buy the collector's edition in the physical copy, which bridges the gap between whichever ending of Infamous 2 they're playing this off of and Second Son, which ultimately leads to getting Cole's jacket, which would just be a cool geeky thing to have.
Why couldn't they have given you JCPenney's jacket instead of Cole's? I've never liked that story.
It was awful. That sound effect. Where's the sound effect? Where's the?
There it is.
Look, we don't need no button.
So I'm torn because I really want that extra content, but I don't really want. But I want the physical disc to sit with my other two on the shelf and say.
Yeah, but what's Infamous
well,
doing
you
for
know
their
what?
physical one?
It really doesn't matter if you have the physical disc because it's going to be a 24 gig install anyway.
No, I get it. It's just having the 3 games sitting side by side on my shelf. Literally, that is it. Why do you think I have piles of paper that have funny pictures printed on them and occasionally a word or 3 sitting all over my
Because you're a coupon addict.
What happened to the printer? I haven't heard it.
No, he was playing with it earlier. I saw it.
No. Well, that was the other okay, I've got 2 printers right here. I've got the old one and the new one.
Serious
the old one is basically just a photocopier.
You must be rich.
Yes, I am. I'm made of ever friggin' loving money. I poop it out every day.
2 printers.
2 printers, yes. Well, one is from when I left the Omaha area, so that tells you how old that one is. And the other one is from 6 months ago. But I turned off the coupon app on the new one, so that's why it hasn't been printing off. And yes, I was futzing around with the other one because the kids use it as a photocopier for school stuff, and it was flashing an error message. So yes, I was futzing with it, trying to get it to stop blinking an error message. Anyway, the comic books is what I was talking about, not coupons. For those of you who don't know me. I keep collecting books sometimes well after they've been entertaining, simply because, well, I have 1 through 12. I gotta have 13 and 14 and 15 because then they can all sit there and be pretty together. So yeah, that's the instinct I fight every single day of my life.
It's okay, Ash, I'll teach you.
There's the part of me that says, want disc to sit on shelf and look pretty with other discs, and then there's the other part of me that says, want cool content so that I can find out how, the two games link, the game series links together.
But wait,
So
I thought you said that if you get the collector's so
I
get the
can't
collector's
hear anybody.
edition.
There we go.
Spend the extra couple bucks and get the collector's edition.
Yeah.
A couple extra bucks. It's like 25 extra bucks for the collector's edition.
But you get a hat.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
isn't it messenger's bag?
No, it's a
no.
beanie. It's Delkin's beanie or whatever.
No, that was the old one. You actually got the messenger's bag.
Well, you know
Which
what?
is awesome.
You
It's
should
got a
you should
Sly
get
Cooper.
that. You should get the hat and then wear it on the show, and you can be like brothers with Valk.
I can be the Crimson Hat and he can be the Green Hood.
That's right.
I wish we were getting the the UK collector's edition that it's actually like a jean jacket cozy that goes around the game, and then it comes with the buttons that are on the US version.
Oh,
of the
you
collector's
weren't
edition.
here when we talked about the Italian one, were you?
Oh god.
How insulting to my people are you about to get here?
Did you see it?
No.
Oh,
It's the condoms.
Yes,
Yes.
it's the condoms and the Red Bull. Condoms and
So-
Red Bull.
So
I don't have to be insulting.
So you don't have to have a second son.
That's exactly it.
That's good stuff.
Oh, Lord of Massey.
So yes. So that was Neo Sapien. So Yakamoto Joe, I want to see if you're parallel my thoughts here.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play Second Son. I'm really excited about
But
Second
is
Son.
that your most anticipated?
I'm really excited about South Park.
That is exactly where I'm sitting too. South Park is actually usurped my second.
What about the rest of The Walking Dead? Is South Park more enticing to you than the rest of The Walking Dead?
See, but I'm like with all the Telltale stuff, I don't touch any of that stuff until they're done with the entire thing. So I didn't play any of the first season of Walking Dead until it came out on disc, and I bought the disc. I didn't know anything about it until it was all done. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do the same thing with Wolf Among Us, and then the second season of the other thing. Oh wait, did you say Last of Us or?
No, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting until the season's done.
I want to change my answer.
You're asking me to compare apples and oranges, Neo Sapien.
Well, no, but we inherently are comparing. You listed off a whole huge array of games and said, "What's your most anticipated title?" You specifically, Balt, I know are goggles and googles over The Walking Dead.
Yes,
I mean, to the point where you're talking episode 1, not even the entire series. Episode 1 of season 2 might be your game of the year.
No, I am actually gonna say yes. I am more excited about South Park, specifically because I have like 15 years of history invested with that show, and this truly looks like you are, for the first time ever, actually playing a show. Like, it is spot on to watching an episode of the show, and you are actually doing things in it. And for the first time ever, there's a map. There's an actual freaking map. So they actually had to sit down and plot out where's Cartman's house versus where's Kenny's house versus where's Butter's house, and you'll get to explore the entire area. I am super stoked about it.
If you haven't seen that first 20 minutes of gameplay, go watch it. It is religious. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I did not even realize that I wanted to play that game until I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, this combat, everything, everything was just great about it. I'm really excited.
What did you
I
want?
changed my answer.
Are you changing it to South Park?
Yeah, because there was like a 4-part season finale of the season on South Park that they made references to Stick of Truth, and
That's
it was
awesome.
hilarious because they did the whole Game of Thrones thing, and Kenny was the Daenerys Targaryen, and that was
Get out of my garden!
oh, shut up! He's gonna betray you! Shut up! You did it to the last guy. Anyway, I absolutely loved it, and then at the end they were just like it was like a big reminder. It'd be like, we're working on a game, and Butter's like, if it ever comes out, and then it just shows him carrying a stick, and it was the Stick of Truth. It's coming to stores. Who knows when? And it was, oh gosh, that was awesome. So
I think
they
that's
can
the only
actually
thing I'd be worried about the game is just that it went through that development hell there for a while.
Well, I mean, I think really with the change of studios, number one, where they basically had to go back and start from scratch. But number two, since Matt and Trey wrote every line of dialogue and they wrote the story.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, that's probably why it's going to be worth it. But it's just like if it's like impossible to get through because the gameplay sucks so bad.
No,
that's
it
the only
doesn't.
thing I'm worried about.
Watch that 17-minute video. Seriously, the combat looks amazing, and they're saying already that this is going to be like a 60-hour game, a 60-hour RPG
beautiful of South Park.
of South Park.
That is awesome.
I hate turn-based combat. I really, really do. But watching how they handle it in this, it looks like a lot of fun to play. It really does. It's almost like what is it, Mario RPG?
Yeah, no, it is actually just like Mario RPG.
Oh,
Super Nintendo, nice.
And this is, you know why it's like Mario RPG, right?
Same people.
It's the same people, Obsidian.
Yeah.
Obsidian is the one that's doing the engine behind it. So it's not like Obsidian makes crappy games.
Right.
So I'm
They just make crappy versions of other companies' titles.
that was like their MO for a while.
Yeah, it was. But
Is they will come in and crap up any game that you liked before.
I hear the skepticism in your voice, Burgundy. Go watch that video. I swear to God, it will convert you, even if you are Jewish. And look, listen, any game that has the character classes of warrior, mage, thief, and Jew, sign me up for. Sign me up for, just immediately.
So I haven't watched the video. I'm not going to watch the video. Honestly.
You should watch the video.
I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to. And it's not because it won't be a good game, and it's not because it. I just finished the first freaking Uncharted. All right, people. It's not in my cards to do this game. It sounds probably like I would enjoy it, which is horrible because that happens to me all the time. There's these things I don't want to do, and then I end up doing them, and I enjoy them, and it costs me money. It's basically what it comes down to. But
he says that, but every game that I have goaded him into for quite a while has been paid for him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Not every.
We're pretty doggone close.
Pretty doggone close. Not every one of them. But I mean, I do it with comics too. Like, I wasn't gonna buy Ms. Marvel. I wasn't gonna buy Ms. Marvel. I wasn't gonna buy Ms. Marvel. What did I buy? I bought Ms. Marvel, and now it's like freaking awesome, and I'm fighting the urge to add it to my pull list. Because I hate awesome things.
You put your comics in a pool, you're doing it wrong.
Something about this just didn't seem right, but anyway, by the way, anyone that wants to read what could possibly be the greatest current generation new superhero for Marvel, read that book, because she could be the next Spider-Man. I mean, this comic could be going on for that long.
Wow.
It's an awesome setup. But how much of this game, if this were nobody knows any of the characters, let's say it was still written by Trey and Matt, let's say it was still, the exact same gameplay, let's say it was the exact same classes with possibly the exception of Jew, would you still be interested in it if it didn't have the South Park branding on it? So how much of this is them playing off of you having a brand loyalty to South Park, which is going to override what you might otherwise consider shortcomings of the game?
All of it. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of the whole point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, to me, that's I don't need a South Park game.
No, you're wrong. You just don't know you need a South Park game. just like Joe didn't know that he needed a South Park game before he watched that trailer.
Right, and you know, I should have never touched Skyrim because I didn't need a 250-hour time suck on my life either. But you know, I caved on that one. I actually have no idea what my final game save on was. That I thought it was around there, but who knows? So I don't know. I won't do it. I might do it 14 years down the road when it's on free for PS Plus or something. But or you know, have we talked about? Yeah, we did. Never mind.
Anybody else have any other news stories before we put this puppy to bed?
I might be getting a PS3 again.
Nice. When are you getting that?
Undetermined. That kind of determined upon a couple other parties, actually.
You're going to parties for PlayStations?
No, parties as in people.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Man, I'm gonna have to. One other thing, non-video game related, because you know I feel like I'm the only one who brings up non-video game related stuff. But hold on a second.
It makes you feel better. I can. Never mind.
No, we don't want to care what snails. No, I'm kidding. This is a book that came out last week. It's called The Fuse. This is issue 1.
I thought it was the FU. That was.
This book's called F.U.
The Fuse.
No, because it looked like it was like FU, see?
Yeah,
Like it was
exactly.
The FU, say.
It's about a 1940s cop that doesn't take any snuff.
What'd you say to me?
Why do I even try?
I'm gonna make that comic now. I'm gonna make it.
Anyway, it's published by Image, which is the mainstream independent publisher. So if you're into independent comics, which I am typically not, apparently Anthony Johnston is a name you may or may not know. Justin Greenwood's doing the art. Anthony Johnston is doing the story. It's a sci-fi noir detective story set on a a space station that's in geostationary orbit above Earth.
Don't you mean geosynchronous?
The cover right here, it says geostationary. I'm reading right off of the...
yeah, because otherwise Neo Sapien doesn't know big words like that.
No, I don't.
Apparently, FU, see?
It's at 36,000 kilometers
Call
above
him
the Earth's
Officer
surface.
Bartleby.
So
It's
actually,
like
it actually is geosync then, because geostationary is would be slightly less than that. Anyway.
This is fantastic radio. I'm just saying.
Anyway, so it's an interesting, if you're into cop stories.
I really did think it said "fu" too.
It
I didn't
does.
see it before.
Anyway, so this is only issue 1. I would actually recommend, based on the pacing of this issue, that you probably wait for a trade, because it's going to be one of those stories that's going to be read easier. It's going to be better to read it in chunks. It's like that show you just want to get on disc so that you can watch it and burn through the whole thing. This would be an excellent novel. To me, this is something like in the thread of an old Asimov robot mystery kind of novel type thing. But the setup's there. It's really intelligently written. It is adult. It's not really kid friendly. Yeah. Anyway, just one other thing to spend money on.
"Fu" in your geostationary orbit. See?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Detective Bartleby.
All right. So, Tube Monkey, final thoughts.
Don't watch Walking Dead. Just read the comics. They're way better now. Yes.
Actually, I have something to show you guys after we go off the line. If you have not seen Walking Dead Bad Lip Dub, that is something that you must watch. And Burgundy, final thoughts.
I'm thinking after the whole release of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer and watching it over and over again, I'm starting to think that Marvel Studios is Teflon. If they can pull this movie off, I showed it to somebody in work. I explained the movie before, and I was like, "You like Bradley Cooper?" And they're like, "Yeah, I love Bradley Cooper." I was like, "Well, he's a raccoon with a gun." And they're like, "What?" I was like Vin Diesel? Yeah, well, he's a tree. And just like going down the list of all the ridiculous things in the movie, and then they were like, "I hate this movie," like just describing it like it sounds like the most awful thing ever. And I was like, "All right, now watch the trailer." They watched the trailer, and she was just like, "I gotta see this movie." So like, if they actually pull this ridiculous story off of characters that nobody has any idea about, and they're throwing it in the summer, like what's it supposed to come out? It's what month?
It's August.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like it's bringing out the end of the
birthday.
summer, which is smart, and I think they got another hit on their hands. And if they pull this off, they are Teflon.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the one. I mean, everyone knows Thor, everyone knows Captain America, but most people, when you say Guardians of the Galaxy, they're like, Guardians of the what? And when you tell people, oh yeah, it's got like a tree guy and a raccoon, and people are just like, what the hey?
Hey, listen, anytime you can say the words, well, in the trailer, there's a cute anthropomorphic raccoon firing a gun while mounted on a giant living tree. That's all I got to say. If you can fit that sentence into any trailer, I think you've got a winner on your hands.
And I have to say, I'm really impressed the way they went with the design on Rocket. I really thought they were going to try and make him more cartoony and kind of not as much of a raccoon like he is in the books, and they literally animated a raccoon. I mean, I have these things crawling around in my backyard. That is a frigging raccoon.
They animated the hell out of that raccoon.
They did. They animated. He hawks the loogie while he's in this line.
Yeah, and by the way, we had a listener or a viewer write in and ask us our thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy. So Eric, thanks for watching. Just as an FYI, hopefully we've answered what we thought about it throughout this. But yeah, I agree with Burgundy. If they can pull this off, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, I am so much more on board after that trailer came out. They just, I mean, they're rocking on all cylinders right now.
Valk, your final thoughts for the evening?
Really looking forward to Galaxy. Really looking forward to maybe possibly having history again. That would be great.
That would be great. Do you have PS Plus or no?
Oh yes, that's the only way I get games anymore.
Okay. And happy birthday.
No, not really.
Oh.
I buy it for him for his birthday.
Gotcha. Neo Sabian already said his final thoughts with the FU geostationary orbit, and that leaves Yakamoto Joe.
Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver.
Hey, that's my screensaver.
And then for my final thoughts, I will pick up once again with Anguished English.
Jeez.
We had made it up to medieval times, so here we go. In medieval times, most of the people were illiterate. The greatest writer of the time was Chaucer, who wrote many poems and verse and also wrote literature. During this time, people put on morality plays about ghosts, goblins, virgins, and other mythical creatures. Another story was about William Tell, who shot an arrow through an apple while standing on his son's head. The Renaissance was an age in which more individuals felt the value of their human being. Martin Luther was nailed to the church door at Wittenberg for selling papal indulgences. He died a horrible death being excommunicated by a bull. It was the painter Donatello's interest in the female nude that made him the father of the Renaissance. The government of England was a limited mockery. From the womb of Henry...
The first accurate statement in this thing.
From the womb of Henry VIII, Protestantism was born. He found walking difficult because he had an abbess on his knee. Queen Elizabeth was the Virgin Queen. As a queen, she was a success. When Elizabeth exposed herself before her troops, they all shouted, "Hurrah!" Then her navy went out and defeated the Spanish armadillo. And that's where we'll leave
I
off.
didn't know there were armadillos in space.
Until next week, hope everybody has a great week. But until then, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
on.